So I'm going to start by saying I apologize that I sound like crap right now. I'm dealing with a cold, but I know I've talked about cosplay stuff here on this channel before, and I'm a cosplayer, and I have hated this dude since the beginning of knowing who this dude is. Of course, it's WholeWheatPete. And for many years now, this dude has been a con menace, but he just gets away with it. He constantly apologizes, gets away with it. Nothing is ever done. However, over this weekend, what happened seems to have crossed the line of ever asking for forgiveness, even though he did try to apologize for it, but we'll get into that later. I will show the clips of what happened in case you are very unaware of what happened over the weekend.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Diddy. What do I gotta do for this? Do I have to go to the freak-off? I gotta go to the freak-off? I got some baby oil. You got some lotion? No, I need baby oil. I know you got all the baby oil. You got it? Oh! No! No! I got $1 billion.
So basically, he had the bright idea to get a friend and cosplay a young Justin Bieber and P. Diddy. It's just, what makes you think, oh, there's an active trial going on for the crimes that P. Diddy has committed? What if we cosplay that and have a skit? To claim, oh, he's innocent, he had no idea what was going on. This is a grown man. He is 26 years old. Grown-ass men did this skit. I don't want to hear any excuse of he didn't know better. There's no excuse for not knowing better. Even if you have a vague idea and not all the details of what's happening in this trial, how do you just not have the process or even ask? The thing that gets me here is clearly he doesn't have any sort of friends or associates that are people of color, because any person of color would have been like, no, having your friend do blackface as P. Diddy doesn't sound like a good idea. And then 2, you probably don't have any SA survivors around you, because I am 100% sure they would look at this idea and be like, are you stupid? You have to be surrounded by a bunch of yes people. And that's scary. It's so scary that he has probably never heard the word no in his entire life, or has, but does not care. That kind of person is extremely scary. But everyone keeps brushing him off, and they're like, oh, let's forgive him for all this previous stuff he's done. And for those who don't know the previous stuff he's done, I'll show you a little snippet of those too. My friend Ben, 2 years ago, made a video of all the stupid crap that he did then, and there's still people in the comments like defending him, but I'll show what he used to do, and it's not really any better.
That 99% of the time he asks for consent for filming in his videos.
99% of the time, I am always asking people for consent, either beforehand, or if I accidentally run up on someone, I asked if I can add them into my video afterhand.
But at the time of writing this, 12 people admitted that he didn't ask for consent for his videos. And with that math, there would be 1,200 people total. I don't watch his videos. I don't know if there's been 1,200 people in his videos. That was likely wrong. It's probably not 99%. Here's a screenshot of him doing exactly that. Me and my friends were cosplaying from the same video game he was, and he decided to run up on my friend and shove a camera in her face, telling her to say something, and she hates having cameras in her face and even doesn't like having pics taken that often. So the way he just did that made me upset with him. I'm usually okay with him, but he's very out there and causes destruction for workers at cons. Every time me and my friends see him at cons now, we usually try to avoid him or try not to cosplay the same game, anime, etc. on the same day as him so he doesn't run up to us. My friend is scared of him now, so yeah, not fun.
So yeah, that's just a snippet of other things that he's done. He's known for destroying con spaces and just constantly gets away with it because, oh, he pays for the stuff that he destroys. He shouldn't be destroying stuff in the first place. I will firmly say that I have never liked this dude. He has never had any sort of positive con presence, and I genuinely don't know how he gained a following other than like 12-year-olds or like underage fans that find him attractive. He just takes advantage of all this clout and thinks he can do whatever he wants. He did release a public apology, but then he took it down, so the only real apology that I've been able to recover is the one to his Instagram mutuals. Hey mutuals, recently I posted some content that showed cosplays of P. Diddy and Justin Bieber, and at the time when I posted, I wasn't too informed of the situation. And I know now that I should have done more research into how it impacted others. After having some of my close friends tell me that these videos were absolutely not in good taste, I immediately removed the post from my channel. I really take into consideration how many friends, fans, and people closest to me feel, and I wanted to ensure I wasn't hurting anyone at the end of the day. But I understand with the feedback I've received, this is something that I should address and grow from. I want to take this moment as a learning opportunity to not only better myself and protect the community, but to bolster my content to avoid this happening again. To those I have wounded deeply as a result of the content, I am really sorry, and I want to still be that funny, wholesome loaf that you all love to be friends with. At the end of the day, the reason why I chose to make humorous content is to help people overcome the fears of the real world through memes and laughter. I do know that I crossed a line with this, and if anyone wants to have a personal discussion with me, I would be more than happy to talk to you guys. Now, this doesn't sound as bad as the snippets that I heard of the public apology. That just straight up sounded like a PR company wrote it, and he did not mean a single word of it. But he has constantly released these apologies and then either unlist them or delete them, so they never feel genuine. Because he did this years ago when he was destroying stuff, he released an apology and then unlisted it. None of his apologies ever come off as genuine. They just never do. And just do not come back to making content. In all honesty, please just don't. We're all tired of you. Except for your die-hard fan base, we are tired of you. Do not come back to the cosplay community. You're not welcome here. I don't care what skits you're cooking up. I don't care. No one wants them. I wish that he would take that and just never come back instead of just taking a break, but unfortunately in the year 2024, it's unrealistic to think that he will just permanently get off the internet or permanently stop being in the cosplay community. I see a lot of people saying that, oh, we can deplatform him, and that's very wishful thinking, and I wish you could do that in 2024, but it just doesn't happen. People rename themselves in the cosplay community all the time to avoid the drama that's associated with their old username, or they just ignore it. They just ignore it, and then it goes away, and they keep doing what they were previously doing. Or like I said, they have a diehard fan base anyway, so they don't feel the need to go off the internet. Even if hundreds of thousands of people unfollow him, unfortunately, at the end of the day, he still has other hundreds of thousands of followers. On YouTube, he has 1 million subscribers. So it's very hard to genuinely get someone off of a platform. It just doesn't happen. The best we can do is just keep informing people who are spreading around his content or who are actually unaware of his content. That's the best, unfortunately, that we can all do. And this other guy that was in the video, Dpiddy, I had never heard of this person in my entire life. But what I've not seen brought up is his username. His username is Dpiddy. How was that not a red flag from the beginning? Like I said, I had never heard of this dude from the get-go. But seeing that his username was Dpiddy, that is the biggest red flag. It's obviously just a take on P. Diddy. I don't know how that, has not been brought up either. Just this dude's username was already a big red flag. And then I took, one glance at his content on Instagram, and you just see from these thumbnails, and it's yeah, this is totally a respectable guy. Get him out of here, too. He's also, from what I have seen, just not apologized, does not care. So also avoid that guy. He seems like a piece of shit. And that's not even factoring in, like I said earlier in the video, that clearly this cosplay is blackface. And then the con that this happened at issued a statement, but it didn't directly talk about Pete, but I'll read it here. Tsumicon strives to produce a safe and inclusive, diverse, educational, an entertaining event that celebrities and showcases numerous talents and creatives across multiple media with a target geared towards mature audiences. In order to maintain inclusivity, we respect freedom of speech and expression. However, we would like to make it clear that what our attendees decided to wear and or cosplay is not representative of our overall values. The staff and board who work tirelessly to ensure our community upholds these values and attendees as whole. Rest assured, we have and will always take the appropriate actions. Thank you. What a bunch of nothingness. In my opinion, what a nothing statement. Just even putting we respect freedom of speech in there, like, okay, so you're respecting people cosplaying as a minor Justin Bieber and someone on trial for SA and other criminal activities? Like real life? I'm not even talking about fictional characters here. These are real life people. And supposedly they disabled comments, which is always a good sign. Yeah, I feel like this con is gonna get a lot of backlash for handling this extremely poorly. I would say that the only other thing we can really do is inform cons that these people are going to these conventions and to ban them, but as someone who knows a friend of mine that has tried to get a person banned from a con with video evidence of them being toxic and harassing them, and it still didn't work, I wish that you could just instantly show all this and be like, hey, just blanket ban these people. But some cons just genuinely do not care as long as they're getting money. They just don't. They can claim all they want that they put security at the highest priority, but from experience of seeing what my friends have gone through to try to get someone banned for being genuinely dangerous and them not giving a shit, it's also just very wishful thinking that it'll happen. What I think is gonna happen at the end of the day, or when he does come back, he's just gonna drift into being like a right-wing grifter, because that's always what happens when your audience turns on you, is that your core audience that finds this funny are piece of shit right-wingers that have no respect for anyone and think everything is funny. And I hate to say it, I think that's probably what's gonna happen. If Pete still wants to maintain relevancy, I feel like that's incoming. So all we can do at the end of the day is keep everyone informed. You can try to tell cons to not have these people as guests or attendees, but I wouldn't hold my breath for these cons to actually do something, as you saw with the con that this happened at, barely did anything. But thank you for putting up with my very terrible voice at the moment. Feel free to share this around to anyone who doesn't know what's happening in the whole WheatPete situation. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.